Kickboxing returns to Madison Square Garden for Glory 43 New York. In the headline event, the East Coast becomes the Beast Coast as Herculean heavyweights Benjamin Adegbuyi and Guto Inocenc battle it out, with the winner one step closer to a title shot. This is a fight that could go from 0 to knockout in an instant. But will the Brazilian beast Inocenc siesta rather than fiesta? Or will the Transylvanian terror Adegbuyi be out for the count? In the co-headliner, the smooth mover from Vancouver, lightweight superstar Josh Chauncey returns to the Glory ring after delivering the knockout knee of the year at Glory 40 Copenhagen. Chauncey takes on adopted New Yorker Elvis Supergashi, who will be looking to dodge the deadly Chauncey knee. And a four-man featherweight contender tournament showcases America's finest and Eastern Europe's toughest. Golden Boy Kevin Van Strand sizes up Mo Abdurrahman of the UK in one semifinal, with Van Strand on the hunt for another KO. In the other half, acrobatic Georgian Giga Chikadze looks to kick Russian rocket Ulyanov into orbit. Van Strand has the fists, Chikadze the feet, but nothing's guaranteed in a Glory contender tournament. Madison Square Garden, get ready for Glory 43 New York. Welcome to the Mecca of sports and entertainment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the theater of Madison Square Garden, and we are sold out tonight for Glory 43 New York. My name is Todd Grisham, alongside Bazooka Joe, Joseph Valtellini, the former welterweight champion of the world. Joe, you fought in this city many times. What makes New York so special?
Well, it's got to be the people watching. These people are passionate fans. They're educated fans, and being here in Madison Square Garden just adds extra to that crowd.
And of course, we've got a massive main event tonight. It comes to us from the heavyweight division. Benjamin Adegbuyi squaring off against Guto Inocenc.
And you can see Benjamin Adegbuyi sitting at the top of the division, where Guto Inocenc is number 10, but he's only got one loss on his career, but he's got a promising future, and he's going to work his way up to that number 1 position.
Benjamin Adegbuyi is a big man, and he hits hard, Joe.
Yeah, and he's very efficient at what he does. And what he does is he's able to really stay long, keep his composure, mix in good low kicks. And we saw in his last fight against Anderson Silva, it wasn't one of his best performances, but he was able to dig deep and find a late extra round win, finishing Anderson Silva with low kicks.
Benjamin Adegbuyi, Mr. Gentleman, one of the nicest guys in the sport, and he describes his fighting style as efficient kickboxing. What does that mean?
It means not throwing everything with power. He's able to set up his power shots, set up his kicks, and he doesn't waste useless energy on just throwing random power shots.
So if Adegbuyi is efficient kickboxing, then what is Guto Inocenc? It's the complete opposite, Joe.
Yeah, and the word to describe Guto is explosive, and in his debut against Demorio Dennis, came out with that high kick, spinning heel kick. Just been played many times and will continue to be played over and over again. And what this guy does so well is he moves on the outside. He's able to kick from any angle, but in his last fight against Jamal Ben Sadiq, he wasn't really able to capitalize and do anything. He just said Jamal Ben Sadiq was just so big.
Well, he's got to deal with another big boy tonight in Adegbuyi. Guto Inocenc says his fighting style is thug kickboxing, and he loves spinning attack.
Yeah, and he loves kicks in general, and that's where it's going to be probably his biggest advantage in his fight tonight.
All right, as we do for every Glory show, we have a contender tournament. You win it, you get a future world title shot. And tonight we're in the featherweight division. 4 fighters fighting. You win your first fight, you fight again about 30 minutes later, and we've got 4 pretty good fighters, including Giga Chikadze.
Yeah, Giga Chikadze is definitely the favorite in this tournament, and he's really wanted a shot at the title from his debut when he came in, but he's got a tough challenge in his semifinal against Alexei Ulyanov, who came in with a tough fight against Pepan Marun, where Pepan Marun won the decision, but Ulyanov felt it should have gone an extra round, so this is his chance to make up for that debut.
So the winner of this fight faces the winner of this fight, Joe.
Yeah, 2 very young kids. Kevin Van Strand just has this style that's very entertaining. He's like the Energizer Buzzy. He doesn't stop. He throws from different positions, all unorthodox, but it's this Abdurrahman who just came off of a Road to Glory win in UK, winning 3 fights in one night, so tournament isn't new to him.
New York also marks the return of Josh Chauncey, the number 5 ranked lightweight in the world today. This guy can pretty much do it all, can he not?
Yeah, he's just a technician. This kid's a superstar, and he's on the up and up and up, and he's just so technical. But you got to see, Elvis Gashi has different plans. He plans on using that power to shut down that flash of Chauncey.
Let's send it now to the third member of our broadcast crew, Whitney Miller, backstage with the Canadian.
Thanks, Todd. Josh, you seem very relaxed. I want to talk about your opponent just for a hot second because he's undefeated, but he's a debutante, and everybody talks about his power. But he told me he wasn't very impressed by you. How impressed are you of him?
Well, I mean, he's only fought on a local circuit, so it's very easy to be undefeated when you're fighting in New York or on small shows around here. So I'm not too impressed by his undefeated record. Doesn't really mean much. However, it means he's got something. He's got something to show us, and yeah, we're going to see if he can show it today. But the fact that he's unimpressed by me, that's just him talking. You know, it's nothing.
What can we expect from you tonight?
Same thing you always see from me. You know, I'm always going for the KO because all my fights in Glory are won by KO. I don't think the judges like me too much, so I'm always winning by KO because I don't want to depend on them. I don't have to depend on them. I just knock them out. Go home, have a drink.
All right, good luck tonight. The semifinals are coming up next.
Most famous arena once again plays host to the world's premier kickboxing organization as the greatest stand-up fighters on the planet come to make their mark in Manhattan for Glory 43 New York, featuring a 4-man featherweight contender tournament. All of our bouts tonight sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association. Their U.S. President Brian Crenshaw is with us ringside. Madison Square Garden, are you ready for glory? We begin with the first of 2 semifinals. He made his Glory debut in Brussels at Glory 39 earlier this year. Here comes Alexi Ulianov.
There is Alexi Ulianov, 22 victories, 3 losses, 7 of his wins coming by knockout. Joe, he's 28 years old, and he seems to be getting better and better every fight.
Yeah, we first saw him at Glory 39 Brussels. He had a tough fight against Pepanamarun Katmukau. Katmukau is a very difficult southpaw with a lot of good left kicks, but Ulianov really didn't have an answer. But asking him about that fight, he still feels it should have gone an extra round, so he wants to make up for that debut tonight.
His liver kick KO in Los Angeles to start the year put the rest of the division on notice. Here is Giga Chikadze.
He is primed and ready for battle. Giga Chikadze telling us he's never been more motivated than he has been in his entire career. And what a career it has been, Joe. 42 professional fights, 37 wins, 22 knockouts.
Giga Chikadze is a very technical, fast, and explosive fighter. And Chikadze, with that quick, explosive style, has done a very good job. He's got a good few knockouts with that Giga kick, which is that left kick to the liver. But since his first day in Glory, he's been calling for a featherweight title shot, and he has a chance for that title shot in this tournament.
For those of you watching on ESPN in the United States, Saturday morning, it's Wimbledon, well, the Ladies Championship between the 5-time champion Venus Williams and Gabriel Magdura. Our coverage begins with Breakfast at Wimbledon, 8 a.m. Eastern. And since every point is also streaming live on the ESPN app, you can watch while you're on the go. Here is our tail of the tape for this, our first semifinal in the featherweight contender tournament. Giga Chikadze taking on Alexei Ulyanov. Giga Chikadze and Ulyanov, both 28 years old. A slight reach advantage for the Georgian.
And it's Giga with the professional experience advantage as well. Giga also has over 200 amateur fights in different disciplines, but both have impressive records, good win percentages, but it's Giga with that KO percentage advantage.
Here are Glory's rules: 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. Punches, kicks, and knees are the legal strikes. No elbows, throws, or sweeps. 3 knockdowns in a round or 4 in the fight will result in a TKO.
Let's take a look at the Glory scoring system. 3 judges in New York will score the fight using the 10-point must system. Scoring is based on knockdowns, damage, an emphasis on clean scoring strikes with spectacular techniques. If there's no advantage, judges are looking at aggressiveness.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this featherweight tournament semifinal is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He is a Russian national champion and a winner of 3 of his last 4 bouts. His professional record, 22 wins, 3 losses, 1 bout scored even, 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 5 feet 9 inches tall, 1.76 meters, he weighed in at fight time at an even 143 pounds, 64.9 kilos. He's here in New York City tonight, fighting out of Kickboxing, Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alexei Ulyanov. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a 2-time world kickboxing champion and full contact karate champion. His record, 37 wins with just 5 losses and 22 career knockouts. He stands 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, and he too weighed in at 143 pounds, 64.9 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Tbilisi, Georgia, introducing Giga Chikadze. And your referee in charge of this bout, Big Dan Mergliano.
Here we go. Gentlemen, center, please. All right, guys, spin through the rules of the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. Good job touching gloves. If you want to go, back to your corners. Good job.
Alexei Ulyanov taking on Giga Chikadze, who's known for his Giga kick, which is basically a left kick to the liver, Joe. It is deadly.
Yeah, when we saw him throw it last against Victor Leo Pinto, and you heard that echo in that arena.
Leo Pinto down and out. A knockout win for Giga. He looked as good as ever, but promises us he's gotten better since then. We will see. Giga Chikadze wearing white gloves, Alexei Ulyanov wearing black. And I should note, we just showed you the Glory rules. Tournament rules, you get knocked down twice in 1 round or 3 times in the fight, and it is over.
You're going to see Giga really use a lot of different variations of kicks. He'll throw low kicks, inside kicks, axe kicks, spinning kicks. So Ulyanov really needs to stay close to him to avoid Giga from landing into those big kicks.
And Joe, who would you say is the favorite in this particular fight?
Well, it's Giga based on his experience, but Ulyanov is very technical, and you're going to see him stay composed throughout this whole fight. Even in his last fight, he was able to switch and fight from both stances. And he comes from Kuzbass gym. Kuzbass has some great fighters, which include Vahitov, Artem Levin, so he comes from a solid camp.
Nice jab there from Giga Chikadze. Chikadze, oh, you can hear that one.
That's the Giga kick.
He's a big, big man. At the start of his training camp, Chikadze weighed 35 pounds more than he did yesterday at weigh-ins.
Those are the spectacular kicks I'm talking about. And you're going to see Giga constantly switching stances, and he likes to start the fight in orthodox, but see how he changes. And once he goes southpaw, that's where he's going to try to hit that Giga kick with that left kick to the liver. But Ulyanov is just very technical. He's going to stay in the pocket. He's staying close, really countering. We saw him throw a few low kicks already.
Ready? Hands up. Box.
Giga Chikadze represents the Republic of Georgia, but now lives in Huntington Beach, California. Loves his lifestyle, feels he should be a champion. Has a chance to earn a title shot tonight if he can win 2 fights in one night. Hello to those of you watching around the world, over 180 countries. Big news from Glory, announced just yesterday. Glory, for the first time ever, is headed to China in October, so the global brand continues to grow. We're very excited to head to Asia in just a couple months, but right now all eyes on Madison Square Garden here tonight.
Very technical fight so far. Ulyanov's doing a good job at controlling distance. He's going to stay out or in. He doesn't want Giga to get comfortable with his space to be able to pick his shots. Just how he closed distance there, that's going to help defend some of those Giga kicks.
Total strikes identical right now. Both men landing 14. Now for more on today's Featherweight Contender Tournament. Tonight, 4 featherweights take Glory's infamous 2 fights, 1 night challenge to get 1 step closer to a title shot. First up, high-flying Georgian Giga Chikadze faces off against Russian Alexei Ulyanov. Chikadze is famed and feared for his acrobatic kicks. Ulyanov knows he'll have to go all in to put the Georgian in airplane mode before takeoff. In the other half, British debutant Mo Abdurrahman faces New York's own Kevin Van Nostrand. The Syracuse Slammer is on the hunt for another knockout and desperately wants revenge in a rematch with Chikadze. Van Nostrand and Chikadze go in as the favorites, but nothing is ever certain in the Glory Featherweight Contender Tournament.
Yo, where's his mouthpiece, guys? Okay. All right, you ready? Sorry, brother, back up. All right, let's go, round 2.
Round 2 here from the theater at Madison Square Garden. We are sold out. This is the first semifinal of our Featherweight Contender Tournament. These guys come out exchanging right from the get-go.
And it's a lot more of the boxing now. Both trying to box with each other.
Break! Break.
Chikadze slipped in a right hand there. This is high-level stuff between these two, Joe. I know you love it.
Yeah, it's very strategic, and I just love how both guys are constantly switching stances. And those who train kickboxing know how difficult it is to fight off your bad side. Both of these guys are just so comfortable doing both.
Alexei Ulyanov has only had 1 fight here in Glory, and it was a loss, but a very close fight between him and Panamaron Kiat Mukau, Muay Thai world champion. As for Chikadze, this is his 8th fight in Glory. And Joe, it's always a constant struggle, I'm sure, when you're in there fighting, knowing another 3-round fight looms on the horizon if you do win.
Well, they both need to remember, though, they have to win this fight before there's a second. So a lot of guys don't focus on the second fight. They don't prepare for the second guy. They usually just prepare for the first.
Come on, both these. Fight. Break. Back up. When you clinch,
Chikadze made his debut at Glory 21. Did so at lightweight because he came in on a week's notice. His proper weight, of course, is featherweight. Been around for a while. Fully confident he is the best in this division. But we know who's at the very tip top, Joe, and he's a mean, mean man.
Yeah, he's just been on a tear lately and finishing all the opponents that he's been put in front of him. He did have a tough fight against Kiat Mukau.
Of course, talking about Robin van Roosmalen. Right hand there from Ulyanov, and this is a very close fight from a strikes landed perspective, Joe.
This is a better round for Ulyanov, and the first one was a little closer, but it just seems like Ulyanov's doing a better job this round at being a little bit more active.
Both men have thrown 77 strikes.
Hey, listen.
The output nearly identical. Strikes landed nearly identical.
Break. Both of you separate. Go.
Some more spectacular offense, at least attempted there by the Georgian. It's a big night for these two fighters, in fact, all of our fighters, because they are fighting at Madison Square Garden. Here's what Giga Chikadze had about being in this venue.
Madison Square Garden is the best venue of the world. When I tell to anyone that I'm fighting in Madison Square Garden, oh man, you know who fought there? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and all the actors when they do their shows. It's a pleasure for them. I just can't wait to step there and say my words with my punches and kicks.
And there is the wife of Giga Chikadze. She's been a nervous wreck over there in the corner. I know your dad loved watching you fight, Joe. What was he like during your fights?
Well, I didn't really know, but you've got to be nervous. And he's only been in my corner once, and I wasn't a fan of it because he's the last person I want to see when I'm hurt, knowing how much he doesn't want his little boy hurt.
Chikadze going right after some kicks to the head there. Joe, how do you have it through 2 rounds?
Well, I'm going to give the first round to Giga, just being a little bit more, scoring more with those spectacular kicks, where Ulyanov did better in that second round, landing and being a little bit more active. So I'm going 1 round apiece.
So according to Joseph Baltellini, it all comes down to this 3rd round.
Back up, back up, back up. Box.
Our second semifinal coming up next.
Break, both is good, good. Nice and clean, nice and clean.
A slight edge to the winner of this fight. They'll get about an extra 15 minutes or so to rest.
Yep, that's a big advantage to have, but these guys are really throwing it down.
Come on, fight out, fight out, fight out.
Stop clashes, knees hitting elbows.
Both men bleeding right now. So they will be damaged goods, no matter who makes it to the final.
Break, both these breaks, separate, nice and clean. Back off, box.
Giga Chikadze, training out of King's MMA. He's produced the likes of former UFC lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos.
Separate.
Mauricio Shogun
Hands
Hua.
up, hands up. Box.
Fabricio Verdun. They know what they're doing there.
A lot more clinching in this round. Both guys could be fatiguing. Their footwork is slowing down.
Chikadze taking a couple of deep breaths, blinking his eyes, trying to get that blood out of his vision.
That's it, there you go, box.
Oh! Ulyanov using the matrix defense there to lean back and get under that kick.
And he's been doing that since the first round.
Fight, let's go, fight.
Would be nice to see him counter off of that.
Who's going to have that one moment in this fight that gets the judge's attention?
Come on, why don't you guys fight?
Oh, there's a good right hand. Both men showing signs of this fight. It has been brutal.
Giga trying the axe kick. Ulyanov kicked his plant leg right under him.
That is not scored as a knockdown.
Separate, break, separate, box.
Ulyanov going in for that knee. Chikadze just missed landing with the high kick.
Right. 10 seconds, box.
Well, Joe, this fight is basically over as Chikadze tries once again for some spectacular offense at the bell. I have no idea who won that fight.
Well, I'm with you on that one. That third round was pretty close. Both guys seemed to slow down that third round, so I still, in my opinion, this fight is up in the air.
Who is headed to the tournament final? Will it be Chikadze? Will it be Ulyanov? The decision when we return. We are back here in New York City as we take a look back at the highlights from our opening tournament fight featuring Ulyanov and Chikadze.
And right from the start, it was a very close fight. Both guys putting out similar amounts of output. It seemed like Ulyanov did better in that second round. Giga maybe in this first, but this third round is up in the air, and who knows, you might have an extra round.
Here are the final strike statistics, and it was very close, but the edge does go to the Russian, who landed 59 total strikes compared to 47 for Chikadze. Strikes absorbed, body and legs go to Ulyanov, but the headshots 3 for Chikadze, at least 3 more for Chikadze. Tim Hughes now with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Our 3 ringside judges give us back a split decision. They score this bout 29-28 Ulyanov, 29-28 Chikadze, and 29-28 for your winner by split decision. Now advancing to the tournament final, Giga Chikadze.
It could have gone either way, and the judges felt the same way.
Yeah, I think it came down to that third round, but in my eyes, it was still too close to call, and I'm glad the judges made that decision, not me.
Looking at the face of Giga Chikadze, the demeanor, he got beat up a little bit, Joe, and he's got to fight again in about 45 minutes. There's his wife. Yes, she loves him, but he's got to get back to the back and rest. What's the game plan for him now as he heads back there?
Well, he's probably going to rest for a little bit. He doesn't want to cool down too much, so we'll probably sit down. Some guys like to have a quick little electrolyte, something quick sugared, but Giga Chikadze has been in tournaments before, so this isn't his first rodeo.
So Giga Chikadze, one step closer to a world title shot. Coming up later, the 5th-ranked lightweight in the world, Canada's Josh Johnsey looks to put on another dynamic display, but standing in his way is Elvis Gashi. Undefeated and unimpressed by Johnsey's ranking, he promises a highlight reel knockout. But first, it's our second contender tournament semifinal. Kevin Van Ostrand feels he's ready for superstardom, and to prove it, he has an opportunity in this tournament as he faces Mo Abdurrahman, a Road to Glory tournament champion. That fight's next. If you're watching on ESPN, we want to remind you the world's best action sports athletes are competing at X Games Minneapolis, and our coverage continues Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC, and then at 3 and 7 Eastern on ESPN. It's now time for our tale of the tape for this, our second semifinal featherweight contender tournament. Kevin Van Ostrand out of the United States squaring off against Mo Abdurrahman from the United Kingdom, and you can see the reach is massive. 7.5-inch advantage for Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin also has less professional experience, even though he's the older fighter, but Kevin Van Ostrand has been a black belt, from a 3rd-degree black belt in Kempo Karate, started martial arts when he's 8, so he does have a lot of experience, even though his record doesn't show it.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this contender tournament semifinal is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He became an ISKA world champion at the young age of just 20. His professional record, 24 wins, 6 losses, 14 of those wins coming by way of knockout. standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, 1.77 meters. He weighed in at 142 1/2 pounds, 64.8 kilos. He's here tonight in New York, fighting out of Southampton, England. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mighty Mo Abdurrahman. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a WKA US and world champion. His professional record, 14 wins versus just 1 loss, 10 of those 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, and he weighed in at 142 1/2 pounds, 64.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Syracuse, New York, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kevin Van Nostrand. Here's your referee in charge of this bout, Oscar Martinez.
All right, gentlemen, you've had your final commands. I want a clean, fair fight. Obey my commands at all times, okay? Questions? Questions? Touch them up. Back to your corners. Judge?
Kevin Van Nostrand's only professional loss came against Giga Chikadze. Win this fight, he gets a chance at revenge later tonight. Van Nostrand wearing the white gloves. Abdurrahman wearing the black. 3-minute rounds here in the featherweight division. They come out firing. Oh, and a back fist. Almost a back slap there. And look at Van Nostrand going right after the kill here. And he may get it.
Yeah, he's putting that pressure on with his boxing right away, and his back fist is one of his favorite weapons. And he's landed it a few times already in the first opening seconds.
Van Nostrand felt like it was a low blow, and the referee will give him a second to collect himself. This is Abdurrahman's glory debut. He has no chance or time to breathe right now.
No, he's got a lot of good pressure on him, and he's got to stick close to Van Nostrand. You don't want to give him too much space. That's where he's dangerous. So Mo keeps coming forward and staying close to Van Nostrand.
Break!
Abdurrahman landing an overhand right there, which backed Van Nostrand up against the ropes. And a left hook there from Van Nostrand. Abdurrahman back in the corner. And here is Van Nostrand. A chance to put it away, perhaps. Lefts and rights. An uppercut snuck in there.
That was actually a front kick that started that. But Van Nostrand's continuing to put the pressure on, trying to get an early finish.
Abdurrahman showing you he's a tough cookie fighting out of England.
Yeah, we saw that.
Oh, there it is. A spinning back fist. What a shot by Van Nostrand.
3, 4,
Holy smokes.
5, 6, 7, 8. Hands up.
But Abdurrahman on his feet, he wants to continue.
We saw this in his road to glory, and he just came, same thing, and he kept putting pressure on. He's one tough kid, let me tell you that.
Eats a left hand, and he's down again. That's the second knockdown in this fight. It should be all over.
4, 5.
It should be over. It is over, ladies and gentlemen. And Kevin Van Nostrand, true to his word, a knockout victory, and now gets a chance at revenge later tonight against Giga Chikadze.
And he did it with some good style. He loves the back fist. He landed it early on, but that spinning back fist was just perfectly timed, and that knockdown is going to be shown over and over again.
Kevin Van Nostrand, a man who won 14 consecutive amateur Muay Thai fights at one point with 14 straight knockouts, shows you he's still got all that power.
And that was that little sneaky back fist that he did in the beginning of the round. Started coming in with some good pressure, and then all of a sudden, bang, he throws it again. You don't see that shot very often. You haven't really seen anyone in glory throw that.
And wait till you see the third time he hits it.
He just sets it up with a jab. Boom! Steps outside. Once again. Boom!
He'd been throwing back fists, but never had to spin on it until that one. And it was a doozy.
Yeah, then Kevin after that just started putting pressure, landed a beautiful straight left. And that's the fight. 2 knockdowns in the tournament format. TKO victory for Kevin Van Nostrand.
And hey, I think we're going to see Abdurrahman back here again. He was game tonight. He never really had a chance to settle into the fight because Van Nostrand was all over him from the get-go. So a valiant effort by him, but all the accolades in the world to Kevin Van Ostrand. But Joe, I've got to ask this question, considering how much emotion there was in this fight, all the drama, what does that take out of a fighter that now he has to collect himself and do it all over again?
Well, that's definitely a big adrenaline spike, so he's going to have to control himself now, try to control his emotions, get those cortisol levels down, try to get him to relax, because he's got a tough fight against Giga next.
What a start to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Another epic encounter here at Madison Square Garden. We'll make it official when we come back. Kevin Van Ostrand and that back fist getting the job done. Performance by Kevin Van Ostrand.
Yeah, and it started all in this first round, and all of a sudden came out with this back fist, and we never really see anything like that. He constantly put pressure through that back fist again. Just kept going, but eventually he turned that into a nice jab setup to that spinning back fist that I could watch over and over again. After that knockdown, he came in, put the pressure, scored the second knockdown. 2 knockdowns in a tournament format in 1 round, and there's a TKO victory for Kevin Van Ostrand.
So Kevin Van Ostrand advances to the final later tonight to square off against Giga Chikadze. And that's the matchup. It is a rematch. In fact, the only professional loss on Van Ostrand's record came against Giga Chikadze. Let's make it official. We go into the ring. Tim Hughes standing by.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end by way of the Glory Maximum Knockdown Rule in tournament action with an official time of 1 minute 52 seconds of that very first round. For your winner, who now advances to the tournament final, Kevin Van Ostrand.
Well, Joe, who would you rather be right now? Van Ostrand or that beat-up guy in the back, Giga Chikadze?
Well, Van Ostrand definitely has a good advantage going into the final. He's fresh. He really didn't expend too much energy. He probably expended more energy in those celebrations that he was cheering and yelling with, but man, I'm excited for that final.
It will happen later tonight. One final look at some of the damage inflicted by Kevin Van Ostrand on Mo Abdurrahman.
Beautiful straight left, and he said he trained really hard for this. It's one of the first times he had a full camp, and it definitely showed. That hard work showed, that flash, that style, that karate background that he has is just that unorthodox style makes him super dangerous.
Well, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we expect a firefight as Josh Johnsey battles unbeaten Elvis Gashi. Welcome back to the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple. Yes, we are in New York City, Madison Square Garden, and what a night it has been so far. Some fantastic action here at Glory 43.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time now for the lightweights. This man puts his undefeated professional career on the line tonight in front of a partisan crowd. Here comes Elvis Gashi.
Elvis Super Gashi, that's his name, and he's been pretty super so far in his career, Joe. I knew it was a J word. Bazooka Joe, Joseph Baltolini, 18-0, 9 wins. No one's beaten this guy.
No, he's got a lot of experience, but none of them up really to Josh Johnsey's level, and this is a big opportunity for him. When he got this opportunity, he jumped to it. His coach Primo in the corner says this is an opportunity we couldn't let go.
I called you Josh. I'll try not to call Josh Joe.
like Babe Ruth calling his home run shot. This man predicted a nasty knee finish that ended his last fight in Copenhagen. Here comes Josh Johnson.
Joe, I know you appreciate fighters of a high technical caliber. Where would you rate Josh Johnson right now?
Well, I would definitely put him near the top, and he's so young in his career still, and he's fought just some of the biggest names. And to give you an example, he's fought Giorgio Petrosian. He's fought Sitthichai Sitsongpeenong. So he finally is finding his groove, and he's just continually getting better. And I have a feeling he's going to be, you know, a future champion here. If he keeps this progression going, the world is endless for Josh Johnson.
He has competed in a contender tournament before, the runner-up at Glory 22 France. Tonight, it's just a one-shot deal. He'll be fighting Elvis Gashi. And Josh does not know a ton about Elvis except the fact that he has a lot of power and he's undefeated.
Yeah, and he says Gashi only has one way of fighting, and that's using his power, where Josh says he's able to adapt a little bit more, fight different ways. He's trained with Mayweather Boxing in preparation for this camp. He's been to Thailand, so he's merged this style together to create the Johnson style.
Hey, Grunt Style has been a great partner for Glory this year, and we're excited to announce that they'll be rolling out a new health and fitness app in August called Grunt Fit. This app will help the millions of Glory and Grunt Style fans reach their fitness goals, so go check them out. You can sign up at gruntfit.com. I think it's safe to say, looking at my gut, I have not reached my fitness goals, Joe.
Well, get to gruntfit.com, Tom.
Or head up to Bazooka Joe's gym in Toronto.
I like that.
It's Josh Johnson versus Elvis Gashi. The lightweight division, 154 pounds. Both men only 24 years old, early in their careers, already with impressive records. Josh Johnson 2 inches taller, but it's Gashi who has a 1-inch reach advantage.
And it's Josh Johnson who has the professional experience. He also has an advantage in fighting higher level opponents than Gashi does, but Gashi has an amateur record of 107 wins and only 3 losses, so that's a man who really knows how to win.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this battle of the lightweight scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a 4-time Kosovo national champion and IKF US national champion. His professional record, perfect. 18 fights, 18 wins, 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, 1.75 meters, and he weighed in at 155 pounds, 70.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Bronx, New York, ladies and gentlemen, Super Elvis Gashi. His opponent fighting out of the white corner, a North American standout making his 11th Glory start. His professional record, 26 wins with 8 losses, 15 of those wins by knockout. At 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters. He weighed in at 153 and 1.5 pounds, 69.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Vancouver, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Josh Johnson. And your referee in charge of this bout is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to?
Yes, sir.
Check yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Good luck to both of you. Break.
No one has been able to beat Super Elvis Gashi tonight.
Fight.
Josh Johnson gets his chance. He's a heavy favorite, Joe. What does Josh Johnson need to do to win this fight?
Well, I think he's going to keep the fight a little bit on the outside, use his movement. He's got to utilize his right kicks because Gashi's a southpaw. So you're going to see Gashi really try to use that power left kick. He's got a good straight left. So Johnson's going to have to respect that power. Fight on the outside, use his movement.
Johnson wearing the white gloves, Elvis Gashi wearing the black. A huge, huge step up in competition for Gashi. Is he ready? We are about to find out. Certainly has the crowd behind him here in New York City.
Well, that's extra motivation for him. Well, he just threw a nice left knee in that exchange.
A nice 1-2 by Johnsy, who complains of a low blow. Johnsy ultra confident, trained at Floyd Mayweather's gym in Las Vegas for this fight a little bit. Trained with Dewey Cooper, one of the best North American kickboxing trainers for sure.
One clip, then a header. Time in. Fight!
Kick to the ribcage there by Johnsy. And a nice left hand connects for Gashi.
Gashi threw everything behind that shot. He needs to try to set it up.
Gashi was supposed to fight on the undercard, but got a call a couple weeks ago and said, listen, not only do we want to put you on the main card, we want to put you against the 5th best fighter in the world in your division. Are you up for the task? And Elvis said, I am up for the task. And here he is fighting at Madison Square Garden.
Throwing spinning heel kicks that almost landed.
And Joe, I know you corner a lot of fighters up there in Toronto who fight out of Bazooka Joe's gym. What's your advice to them when you know they're filled with a lot of nerves before a fight?
Well, we gotta make sure we visualize the fight. We do a lot of mental training back home. They gotta learn to get in the zone. If you're gonna be a high-level fighter, you have to deal with those nerves. You gotta have a strong mental game. You can be the most physical fighter, but if you're not strong mentally, it's easy for you to break and to crash under the pressure.
Elvis unimpressed with what he's seen from Josh Johnsy. Said, listen, I'm better than this guy. I don't care what he's ranked, and I'm going to prove it.
He's starting off doing a good job, making it difficult for Johnsy to land any of his punches.
Oh, and he ate that right hand coming in for a knee. Johnsy landed one. And Gashi now trying to be a bully in the corner.
Gashi landed a good left hand in that exchange.
And landed a left hand there. Good opening round here. Plenty of action, 10 seconds to go.
Break! Break! Break!
What's your rate? Elvis Gashi, first professional round here in Glory.
Well, I thought he did really, really well. It looked like Johnsy was a little hesitant to respect the power of Gashi, but Gashi did a good job. He landed some good kicks, some good left hands. Let's see if he can sustain this type of pressure and power throughout the other 2 rounds.
Let's learn a little bit more about Super Elvis Gashi, his fighting style, quotes, power and aggression, a massive amateur career. He's ready for this moment, at least the numbers say so.
Well, the numbers show it, and to have 107 amateur wins and 18 professional wins, he knows how to win with only 3 losses, so I need to see if he can handle the big stage, and he showed it in the first round that he can.
The lovely Alyssa, one of our Glory girls here in New York City. Elvis Gashi, though, a lot of nervous energy there. The crowd was behind him under the bright lights. A lot of output in that round for him. Will we see a fatigue factor come into play maybe late in round 3?
Could be. If everything he's throwing with power, let's see what Johnsy adapts in this round.
And that was more of a sweep determined by Paul Nichols, not a knockdown. Round 2 scheduled for 3. You're just watching Glory Kickboxing for the first time. Stand up, all action. No elbows, but plenty of knees, punches, and kicks. No time to mess around. 9 minutes.
Good kick by Gashi, but Johnsy stayed in the pocket, looking to counter back with his punches.
Well, at least Josh Johnsy knows now that he's in for a fight. Oh, and a left hand splits the guard of Johnsy right on the button. And then a little back fist. Gashi getting work done now.
And he's doing a good job with that left straight. Gashi needs to be careful, though. Keep his chin down after he throws. Looks like Johnsy's looking to counterpunch.
And listen, Josh Johnsey is not afraid to get knocked down. It's happened several times in his career, but he always gets up, and more times than not, puts his opponent down too.
Yeah, and once he warms up, that's when Johnsey gets dangerous. He'll start putting combinations together, start mixing levels. Johnsey's right now in a southpaw.
Johnsey has blood coming out of his nose right now, maybe a little bit out of his mouth as well.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've seen Johnsey go southpaw. And he's going to try to chop that lead leg of Gashi from that southpaw stance.
Nice low kick from Gashi. Gashi said his dream was to fight for glory. He's been offered other organizations. You know, Josh Johnsey might be hurt here a little bit.
Yeah, his legs look like they're wobbling under him. Not too sure if he's got his...
They are. Johnsey's in trouble here, real trouble here. Elvis lands a shot, and now Johnsey's got Bambi legs. Elvis Gashi looking to send this crowd into a frenzy. Can he come in out of nowhere and beat the 5th-ranked fighter in the world? Johnsey is down.
1, 2, wow, 3, 4, 5,
Josh Johnsey,
7,
obviously
8.
in serious trouble.
Gloves up.
Paul Nichols says, do you want more? He does. Gashi comes running at him like a bull. A flying knee. Josh fighting back, but he's down again.
1.
This is the stuff dreams are made of. Elvis Gashi, 3 weeks ago, didn't have a fight of this caliber. He was going to fight on the undercard against a nobody. And here he is against one of the biggest somebodies in the world.
Everyone in this theater is on their feet.
Josh Johnsey, it's got to be over. And it is. Elvis Super Gashi has shocked the kickboxing world.
I did not expect this from Gashi.
His dream came true. I was telling the story that he'd been offered several fights in several other organizations. He turned them all down. He said, no, I just want to fight in glory. It's the best in the world, and I'm the best in the world. And one day they'll give me a chance to show my stuff. And this was his chance at Madison Square Garden in front of his hometown fans. And he just put on the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, and let's take a look at that. It looked like Johnsey was hurt. I'm not too sure what rocked him, but then he came over with that left hook, and Johnsey had no chance, and that left hand was just way too much power behind it. But Johnsey kept staying in the pocket, showing his toughness, trying to throw back, but that pressure and that power of Gashi was just too much. Once Josh was wobbled, he couldn't find his leg, and just came out with everything he's got to put this finish on Johnsey.
Incredible performance. Really shocking stuff. Elvis Gashi on the scene. And Joe, the sky's the limit. He is 19-0, 10 knockouts. And all of a sudden, from unranked to he's got to be ranked in the top 10, at least maybe the top 5.
He just beat the number 5 ranked fighter in the world and one of the top prospects in the lightweight division.
There it is, the moment of a lifetime. You witnessed it. We'll make it official when we return to New York City. We are back here at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and this sold-out crowd witnessed something special. Dare I say, the biggest upset in glory in 2017, Joe.
Yeah, easily one of the biggest upsets, with Gashi being a huge underdog, and just seeing how good Johnsey is just shows how much potential that Gashi has, and just showing that power that in that left hand was just a little too much for Johnsey. Johnsey made some adjustments by going southpaw. But Gashi just continued with that relentless forward power. Just left hand after left hand, ended up doing the most damage. 3 knockdowns, 1 round. Gashi's dream comes true.
Earlier, Kevin Van Ostrand with an epic performance. We thought that was going to be hard to top, but I think Elvis Gashi just did it, believe it or not. A sensational performance by Elvis Gashi. Here's our strike statistics. It was close for a while, but then Gashi just got those power punches connecting.
And it all comes down to those strikes absorbed where Johnsy just took a lot of left hands. That was the biggest difference in that fight. So that power of Gashi was the big difference.
We make it official now. We go back into the ring, and Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you watched it as it happened. This bout comes to an end just 1 second shy of the bell with an official time of 2 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round, and ends by knockout for your winner and still undefeated, Elvis Gashi.
Well, Joe, what next now for Elvis?
First of all, congratulations on a spectacular performance tonight. You're at Madison Square Garden, and you secured a huge upset. He said he was going to knock you out in a second. You knocked him out. Describe your emotions as you stand here tonight.
Thank you everything who came here to support me. I love you, all my people. I love you guys, all my team, my sponsors. Thank you guys, I love you. Maybe I'm not the best fighter, but always wants to fight the best fighters.
Well, thank you so much for that epic performance.
Thank you so much. I deserve it here to be. I've been waiting for glory for 2 years. So here you go, my dream is coming true little by little. Love you guys.
Congratulations.
I'll ask the question again, Joe. What now for Elvis? What do we do with this guy?
Well, the lightweight division on Glory is just so stacked, and there's so much young talent, and I would love to see him against the names of guys like Tijani Bestati, Chris Baya, Anatoly Moiseev. Those are some big names within the top 10 that could be good matchups for Gashi. If he just beat the number 5 rank, let's get him and let's put him in against some of the other big names in the division.
You know, he won't back down from a fight, taking this one out of the blue. Still to come, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event. Heavyweights will collide as big Benjamin Adegbuyi looks to beat down another opponent, but he can't make a mistake against one of the most dynamic and creative heavyweights in the world today in Guto Innocence. There's Benjamin Adegbuyi right there out of Romania. Guto fighting out of Brazil. And of course, our next fight will be the championship match in the featherweight contender tournament. Don't miss it. We are back here at Madison Square Garden, and everyone feeling the flow here tonight. Unbelievable action, even by Glory standards, Joe.
Yeah, there was a lot of action. There's a lot of unexpected happenings. So let's take a look at some of these highlights from the tournament brackets and how these two made it to the finals. And it started with Giga Chikadze against Alexei Ulyanov. And it was a very, very close fight where Giga really had to dig deep in order to find the win, and he was able to get a split decision win. Took a lot of damage, got his eye cut, so let's see how that affects him in the finals. But Kevin Van Nostrand just showed his dynamic striking, landing these back fists, that spinning back fist, which was incredible, finally putting on the pressure. 2 knockdowns in the first round. He's definitely the fresher fighter going into the finals.
He certainly is the fresher fighter, but spent a lot of emotion on that celebration. His corner was going crazy. A lot of his friends and family here at the theater at Madison Square Garden. He gave a lot of hugs out, Joe, but he hasn't won it yet.
Nope, and I even talked to Robin Van Roosmalen over Instagram just now, and he feels that, you know, Kevin Van Nostrand may have the advantage because he's more fresh, but he thinks and hopes Giga wins. So I guess they have some finished business that they want to take care of.
All right, we go back into the ring now, and Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Contender Tournament Final. A spinning back fist was the beginning of the end in his semifinal matchup. Please welcome back Kevin Van Nostrand.
He looks as fresh as a daisy, Joe. He's full of confidence. An amazing performance in his opening fight. What's the key here for him as he gets back into the ring?
Well, both of these guys have very tricky styles. You know, Giga's very unorthodox with his kicks. Kevin's very unorthodox with his stance, with his back fist, the way he throws his kicks. So this is going to be a very interesting match, and I think it's going to come down to who's going to put the more pressure, who's going to be able to land more of the better combinations. But it's going to be a very tricky style with both of these stances and styles being so weird and awkward.
We mentioned it earlier, but it must be said again. Kevin Van Ostrand is 15-1, one professional loss, and it came against the guy he's about to fight next.
He needed all the weapons in his arsenal to take a split decision win in the semifinals. Welcome back, Giga Chikadze.
What's going through Giga's mind right now? Surely he saw what Kevin Van Ostrand did in his first fight.
Well, he's, like I said, he's very experienced. This is not his first time in tournaments. He's got to really stay focused, and he's got to block it out of his head what happened in that first fight, if possible. Try to avoid thinking about that cut on his head and just try to be himself, try to be dynamic with his kicks, try to put as much pressure as he can on the fresher Van Ostrand.
Here's our tail of the tape for this, our featherweight contender tournament finale at Madison Square Garden. It is sold out tonight, and the fans here are really looking forward to this one. A big contingent of Kevin Van Ostrand fans coming down from Syracuse, New York. Giga Chikadze, 1 inch taller than Van Ostrand.
Taking a look at the professional experience, the 43 professional fights from Giga Chikadze and only 16 for Van Ostrand. Like Todd just mentioned, Van Ostrand has 1 loss, and that 1 loss is to Chikadze, and this is his chance to get that back.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this tournament final scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, he now runs his professional record to 15 wins with just 1 loss and 10 career knockouts. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, and he weighed in at 142.5 pounds, 64.8 kilos. He's back tonight fighting out of Syracuse, New York. Here is Kevin Van Ostrand. His opponent fighting out of the white corner now improves his record to 38 wins with 5 losses and 22 knockouts. He stands 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at an even 143 pounds, 64.9 kilos. Back tonight, fighting out of Tbilisi, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Giga Chikadze. And your referee for this bout is Big Dan Mergliata.
Okay, gentlemen, in the center, please. Kevin, in the center, please. Here. All right, guys, this is it. This is the final, right? Good luck to both of you. Touch gloves. All right, back to your corners.
The current featherweight champion, Ruben van Roosmalen, in the Netherlands, and right now watching this fight. He will most likely square off against one of these men later this year. Giga Chikadze wearing the white gloves, Van Ostrand wearing the black, and again he comes out swinging for the fences.
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on really early.
Guys, good, box. Break, don't hold on.
You've got to wonder, though, once this initial storm passes, if it does pass, how much will be left in the tank for Van Ostrand?
Break. There you go, stop punching, okay?
Chikadze looks like he was in a fight 30 minutes ago. Van Ostrand looks like he just walked into the arena.
That's it, fight it out, keep going. Break.
And when you know a fighter's going to come out that aggressively, Joe, what should your stance, what should your defense be?
Well, it would be to move and try to use angles in your footwork, but I'm not too sure how much energy Giga has left to continually move. So his best bet might be to kind of stay defensive, try to use some counter punching, to try to save as much energy as he can.
Giga Chikadze in a 3-round grueling battle earlier with Alexei Ulyanov. Van Ostrand with a first-round knockout in his fight.
Come on, guys. Box.
And Giga's already bleeding again.
Yeah, that cut definitely opened up again.
Van Ostrand just brings those punches from such weird angles.
And that's why they land and they do well, because they come in angles you can't see them. He steps in ways that you're not used to. He'll step to the inside. He'll step to the outside.
But Giga's dealt with this before. He beat Van Ostrand. Knows how to do it. Does he, though, have the energy to get it done again?
Right. Clean, guys. Clean, clean, clean. Back it up. Box.
And Joe, you fought in tournaments before. You fought in a final. Was it in Tokyo you fought in that fight? Nikki Holtzkin. You were exhausted in that last round, and you told me you figured, listen, I might as well just go throw everything at the fence and see what happens.
Well, when a world title's on the line and a lot of big money at the end of that, you got to leave it out there, and that's what both of these guys have to do.
Well, if Giga's as tired as we assume he is, does he try and save some for the third round, or say, hey, I'm going hard here in the first round to see if I can get the job done?
Well, it's kind of tough to see, because we don't know what's going on in Giga's head and in his body right now, but it just doesn't look like he has that snap and the power that he had in that first fight. He's waiting a little bit more. He's not able to throw his kicks as much.
He's got that guard held up high. And round one has been a good one for Kevin Van Ostrand, who looks up at the clock. He's got 10 seconds left. And Giga with a knee, and wait a minute now. That connected, and Van Ostrand ducked down awkwardly. Not sure how much damage that shot did.
But if anything, it gave Giga a little bit of confidence that he still has that energy and that power to land something on Kevin.
Round two scheduled for 3. The winner of this fight advances to a future title shot against the featherweight champion of the world. That's currently Ruben van Roosmalen. Van Ostrand, as he's done in every round tonight, comes out active.
Yeah, Giga came out very strong, but Kevin just did a good job at throwing those back kicks to slow Giga down.
If Giga can somehow muster the strength to win this fight.
Well, he's moving a little bit more now. He's not staying as stationary. Maybe he has that little bit of initial energy that he got from that minute break between rounds. And maybe that's what he's trying to do, capitalize on that early little bit of energy that he has.
Well, like I asked you, he knew Van Ostrand was going to come out hot in the first round, maybe trying to reserve some energy in the tank for the last 2 rounds.
Kind of looks like that.
Looks fresher for sure. And like you said, maybe that right hand at the end of round 1 gave him a boost of confidence. That knee won't help, though, right into the solar plexus delivered by Kevin Van Ostrand. An axe kick attempt there from Chikadze. Got to keep those hands high because Van Ostrand throws punches like that.
Box it out.
Looks like Giga has slowed it down.
And that, is that a point deduction almost, Joe?
It looks like it.
He's going to think about it. Talk about the legality of what just happened.
You know you're not allowed to sweep the leg.
You're not allowed to trip like that.
All right.
But it looked like it took some wind out of Van Nostrand. Could be a little bit of frustration from Giga, and that was his way of trying to slow Kevin down. But
you right? Yes, it was. Taking a point.
A point will be deducted.
Yeah, that's very tough on him. I mean, but it looked like it took the wind out and slowed Van Nostrand down. Giga did that with some authority, like he wanted to do that. So Dan Mergliotta establishing his control and taking a point off of Giga. So Giga really has to push the pace now.
Certainly does, assuming he lost round 1 and may lose round 2 here after having a point deducted.
You gotta see if Giga has the energy to kind of come forward and try to look for that knockout.
Well, it was clear that Giga did that intentionally, did it on purpose, throwing his opponent to the mat. It is illegal, obviously, but was it, in your opinion, bad enough to have a point deducted?
Well, it's a tough call to me. Giga threw that down with some authority, and the way Kevin got up looked like it slowed him down. So, in that way, you got to give that point deduction.
Well, now Giga's more motivated than he has ever been in this fight because he knows his back is against the wall. He's had a point deducted.
Clean in the middle. Let's go. Bring in. Go box.
May very well need a knockout.
Kevin has definitely slowed down himself.
Right. Don't hit him. Separate. Hands up. Come on, guys. Box.
Dan Mergliotta, our referee, took a lot of time to think about that. About 30 seconds before he decided to deduct a point. So it was not a rash or quick decision by him.
There's that spinning back fist again from Kevin.
So, Joe, the question now is, was that a round that Giga won, and it's a 9-9 round because of the point deduction, or did Van Nostrand win the round and it was a 10-8 round?
Well, that's a good call, Todd. I mean, I think it was definitely a better round for Giga. He came out strong, ended up doing a little bit more damage, but that was an intentional throw. And you got to see the way Kevin got up. He stayed on the floor quite a bit, and after that, he slowed down. So I kind of agree with Mergliotta that that was a damaging throw that did some damage to slow Kevin down.
So 3 minutes to go. One of these men will win the featherweight contender tournament, get a future title opportunity. And all arrows are pointing to Kevin Van Nostrand right now after Giga Chikadze had a point deducted in round 2 for that throw.
Go, get him out.
You could see on the mouthpiece there for Giga Chikadze, it says knockout cancer. After his mother died in 2013, he started that foundation, collects money from different events and from his fight purses, and helps a lot of people who have cancer and are struggling. He says he's helped nearly 30 people get more healthy. So a great cause for Giga Chikadze and a great guy, but he's got a lot of work to do here in round 3.
And Giga's complaining about the clinching.
What are you telling Giga in the corner?
Well, you just got to go for it. Show your heart, show how bad you want it, and see you have 3 minutes to put some good pressure.
And now he's literally chasing Van Nostrand around the ring. And for Kevin, he may be thinking just survive, but that axe kick clipped him.
Right, keep it clean, guys. Stop hanging with your turn around. Giga, turn around, turn around.
Both men have to be extremely tired at this point, especially Giga Chikadze. His first fight was much tougher than Van Nostrand.
Well, like we said, if that second round was a 9-9 round and Giga wins this round, you got an extra round.
Another spinning back fist attempt for Van Nostrand. A minute 43 left.
Both guys just sitting, exchanging. Kevin Van Nostrand looking up, seeing how much time is left.
Chance of Giga here from this sold-out crowd at the theater at Madison Square Garden. Not much left in the tank. You can see it from the way these guys are throwing punches.
But they both want it really bad.
Absolutely. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. You want a title shot here in Glory, you got to earn it.
Nice straight left from Van Nostrand, trying that spinning back fist again.
You just never know what he's going to throw. Comes charging at you sideways. Chikadze's corner screaming, go, 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 go. And he's trying. He lands a couple of punches there on the inside. Not a lot of steam on him.
But he's just keeping Kevin against the ropes. Trying to land whatever he can, any way he can.
Well, it's the best round for Chikadze, but is it too little too late as the clock ticks down, 10 seconds to go. Oh, Chikadze trying it again. Oh, and a headbutt there. An illegal headbutt for sure. And that will do it. Chikadze's arms are raised, but the math is going to have to look really fuzzy for him to get a win here.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those tough ones to score, but Kevin did really good job in the first 2 rounds, looking fresh. That point deduction was a big issue in this round for Giga, so let's see how the judges have it.
All right, the official decision when we return to the theater at Madison Square Garden. This, the final of our featherweight contender tournament. And Joe, Giga Chikadze came out slow. Van Nostrand did not.
Yeah, in that first round, Kevin did basically a dominant round for Kevin, was just able to find his energy, land good strikes. Second round with that point deduction, still kind of gave the edge to Van Nostrand, being a little bit more fresher. But there it is, there's that point deduction where Giga swept the leg. Dan Mergliotta taking off a point from Giga, which made it very tough on Giga, which caused a little bit of urgency. And it was that last round was the best round for Giga. Really had to dig deep, put that pressure on. So let's see how the judges have it. It was definitely the dominating early round for Van Nostrand. That third round definitely goes to Giga.
And there was what appeared to be a headbutt for Giga, but no point was deducted for that. But to Giga's defense, it seemed like he was just trying to get up and get back into the fight with just a few seconds left. Dan Mergliotta did not penalize him for that. All right, here's our final strike statistics. You can see Van Nostrand landing 87 shots compared to 69 for the Georgian. And look at that, 2 strikes absorbed to the body and 2 to the legs. How is that possible?
No, it looked like both of them were throwing more head punches in this fight, but let's see. Could that early dominance of Van Nostrand be enough to win him this fight? Who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 tournament rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges seed about the same and score at 30-26, a unanimous decision for your winner. And now, contender tournament champion, Kevin Van Nostrand. Here to present the Ramon Deckers Trophy, our Chief Executive Officer, John Franklin, and our Managing Director of Sport, Mr. Cor Hemmers.
And there it is, the trophy, the certificate. He'll get a check at some point and a future title shot. Whitney Miller in the ring with Kevin.
Kevin, epic performance. I think I can speak for everybody when we say thank you for laying it all out on the line tonight. Were you surprised by how much Giga still could give you after his first fight?
I know he was a monster, yes. I wasn't surprised. I knew it was going to be a battle. I fought him before. He's the only person I've ever lost to. And today, I was not going to make that happen again. I'm training so hard for this camp. I like to train my sponsors who had me 100%. Team Andrello, all my family in the crowd. Trisha Cornell over there, my nutritionist. She got me fit, ready for this fight. God bless.
Madison Square Garden.
everyone give it up one more time for your champion.
Joe, the world is his oyster, at least in this division. What happens next for Kevin Van Ostrand?
Well, he just showed an improvement. He just showed he's getting better. This was the first time he actually had a full camp for his Glory fights. The other ones he came on and took in last-minute notice, but it just shows there's so much potential. I know he's been calling out since day one. He wants a chance at Robin Van Roosmalen, so I know Robin's watching back home. And
how does he do against the Bulldog? How does he do?
Well, it's going to be tough. Many people think they have the strategy against Van Roosmalen, and no one has really had the opportunity to figure him out, but his unorthodox style could give Robin a tough fight.
Either way, Kevin Van Ostrand with 2 fantastic performances, and he's headed onward and upward. Several Victoria's Secret models here today, including Sarah Sampaio right there. Thank them for coming. This is the place to be tonight. Hello, girls. You're on TV. They've been there before. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event of the evening. Heavyweights collide. Big Benjamin Adegbuyi looks to beat down another opponent, Guto Innocent. A fantastic, strategic matchup. 2 completely different styles. Which one will prevail? We'll find out next. We welcome you back to Madison Square Garden. And for those of you watching on ESPN2, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Manchester United starts their preseason American tour with a friendly against Giovanni Dos Santos and the Los Angeles Galaxy. It'll be one of the final tune-ups for the Red Devils before their International Champions Cup starts on Thursday, July 20th. You see it streaming live on the ESPN app.
This Pan Am and South American champion hopes to move one step closer to the ultimate prize of wearing a glory belt. Please welcome Guto Innocent.
Guto Innocent with the best training camp of his life, Joe, said he went all out. He couldn't have done anything more as he prepares to face off against one of the biggest tests of his career in Benjamin Adegbuyi.
Yeah, in Glory 39, he fought the Goliath, Jamal Ben Sadiq, and from that fight, he's lost 15 pounds. So you can expect Guto to be a little bit more lighter on his feet, a little bit better with his movement, and probably a little bit more active. But let me tell you, what makes Guto very dangerous is that he moves like a middleweight, and he's got these kicks that come out of nowhere, spinning kicks, left kicks, high kicks, just very versatile with his kicking game.
8-2 inside the Glory ring. He's coming off a unanimous decision win over Hesdy Gerges in Nice. Here is Benjamin Adegbuyi.
His nickname is Mr. Gentleman, but this is one gentleman you don't want to meet in a dark alley, Joe. He has got extreme power in both hands, and he's light on his feet as well, as he's trying to show us right here.
Yeah, and he's just so, like we talked about him earlier in the open, that he's just one of those efficient style kickboxers where he uses his straight punches to set things up. He's got good low kicks, good body kicks, switches stances. So it's the full package, and what makes him impressive is he only has 2 losses, and those 2 losses are to the current champion, Rico Verhoeven, and he's actually gone and is now training with Rico's camp. So you can see waiting for him in the ring is Dennis Crowell, the coach and the main corner of Rico Verhoeven.
But his last performance was certainly not his best against Anderson Silva. Guto Innocent, Silva's countryman, certainly watched that bout, saw some holes in Adegbuyi's game, and believes that he can, quote, kick his head off tonight. It's our tail of the tape for this, our main event in the heavyweight division here in Glory. It's Romania versus Brazil. Adegbuyi 32, Guto Innocent is 31, and the height advantage. He is 3 inches taller and has an 1.5 inch reach advantage, does Benjamin Adegbuyi.
Taking a look at that professional experience, it's Gudo that has more of the professional experience, but it's Adegbuyi who's been the #1 contender for some time and has fought the top of the division in Glory in the most recent time.
Fight metrics, they tell this story. Knockdown ratio 7-1. That is impressive by Adegbuyi. As for Guto Inocenc, he has one knockout, Joe, but it was the knockout of the year.
Yeah, and he's just so explosive, and what makes Guto is he'll keep mixing it up. But let's take a look at the scoring for this fight. 3 judges in New York will be scoring the bout using the 10-point must system. Scoring is based on knockdowns, damage, clean scoring strikes, with an emphasis on spectacular techniques, which include those spinning flash kick that Guto likes to throw. And finally, if there's no clear advantage, judges are looking at aggressiveness.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the Glory heavyweight division between a self-described thug kickboxer from the streets of Brazil and a Romanian gentleman who both desperately want to wear a Glory championship belt. This bout sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association, and at the bell, your referee is Chris Wagner. From Manhattan to Manila, the world's kickboxing fans are tuned in around the world. It's time for Glory! Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a 5-time Brazilian champion who took Knockout of the Year honors in 2016. His professional record, 33 wins, 8 losses, 17 of those wins by knockout. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, 1.91 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 256 pounds, 116.1 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Brasilia, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, here is Guto Inocenc. Here now is his opponent, fighting out of the white corner, a 2-time contender tournament champion. Comes in tonight on a 3-fight winning streak. His professional record, 28 wins with 4 losses, 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 6 feet 6 inches tall, 1.98 meters, and he weighed in at 254.5 pounds, 115.4 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Romania, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gentleman, Benjamin Adegbuyi. And your referee for this contest is Chris Wagner.
Right here. All right, gentlemen, went over the rules in the dressing room. A nice, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. In case of a knockdown, go to the neutral corner I tend to go to. Remain there until I call you out. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? Fight fair, fight hard. Touch gloves. Back it off.
According to Nick Kalikas at MMA Oddsbreaker, Benjamin Adegbuyi is closed at a 12-1 favorite over Guto Inocenc. Surprised the odds are that big, Joe?
Yeah, I am, because you got to think Guto's only has 1 loss in Glory. He's got the potential to knock anyone out with his kicks. But Adegbuyi right away putting pressure on Guto, so that's the strategy. Against a dynamic kicker that wants to throw.
Oh! Almost had a double knockdown. Guto Inocenc got the worst of it, though. And now Adegbuyi trying to close him out early.
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on right away.
But this is not boxing. You can't hold on and clinch to try and collect yourself. You got to keep going. What a start to this fight. Adegbuyi, 6'6", 254 pounds. And again, when Guto goes to throw that left hook, his right hand is down, and Adegbuyi connects.
See, Adegbuyi staying right close. He doesn't want Guto to be able to utilize his kicks. So that's where Guto's going to have to use his boxing a little bit more, and that's why he's trying to load up that left hook.
Well, Guto's getting his shots in as well.
He's doing well when he throws in combinations. You saw him throwing the 1-2-3 low kick. That seemed to be landing well for him. He definitely needs to watch out for the counter punching of Adegbuyi.
Adegbuyi simply did not look like himself at times in his last fight against Anderson Braddock Silva. He already looks much better tonight.
He's keeping calm, he's keeping relaxed, Adegbuyi. That's where that efficiency comes. Controlling the center of the ring, keeping Guto against the ropes.
And Guto cannot afford to be a stationary target.
No, he's got to stay away from those corners, keep moving his footwork. And when he throws, I like when he throws in combinations like that. And he's finding success with that right low kick, Guto, so he's got to keep going there.
Adegbuyi trying to go upstairs. But Guto having more success now against Adegbuyi than he did in his last fight against Jamal Big Ben Sadiq.
Yeah, there wasn't much activity.
Oh, that left hand connected.
Yeah, in that last fight with Guto and Jamal Ben Sadiq, there wasn't much activity. Guto definitely threw more now than he did in that whole fight.
Guto's had more output and has landed more strikes, but it was that big strike early in the round that the judges will certainly be thinking about.
Yeah, it comes down to damage. Remember, you can land a lot, but the fighter who does the most damage in the round is going to win. There's no knockdowns. Who's doing more damage?
A spinning back fist to end the round, which was a very entertaining one here in the heavyweight division. Benjamin Adegbuyi, 18 of 32. Innocence, 29 of 67, Joe.
Let's take a look at what happened early on in that round. Both guys loaded up the left hook. Wow, close to a double knockdown, but it's definitely Adegbuyi who got the better of those left hook exchanges. Both guys with a lot of power.
Man, boom! And you know, if Guto hadn't lost his footing and had stood there, it would have been pretty much a tie with those shots. Bang. Adegbuyi landed a split second earlier.
Yeah, and that was the biggest difference, that slight timing difference. But that shot definitely kind of rocked Adegbuyi as well, so keep up with those combinations.
11 more strikes landed for Guto. Who do you give round 1 to?
Well, I still think it comes down to damage, and based on damage, ring control, and aggression, I'm going to go with Adegbuyi.
2 rounds left. Adegbuyi going upstairs with a high kick. But you have to be confident if you're a Guto fan. He took Adegbuyi's best shot, and he's still coming back for more.
But Guto's having to use a lot of energy to throw when he lands, where he has to try to move around, set his feet, and then he tries to throw combinations. It's a very exhausting style.
Well, he is in the best shape of his life, and he's going right after Adegbuyi, backing the big fella up. And look at this. A good start to round 2 for the Brazilian. And I keep waiting for Guto. Oh, and Adegbuyi's on wobbly legs. Guto going in for the kill. This would be the biggest win of his career.
Guto just has been throwing nonstop for this minute.
Adegbuyi in real trouble. He's holding on. And there may be a point deduction here. They're going right back at it. Here comes Guto charging in again. Adegbuyi still not right. His feet are not under, ladies and gentlemen. A 12-1 underdog is Guto Innocence.
Spinning heel kick to the leg.
Come on, go, fight, let's go.
It's got to be above the knee, can't be on the knee.
Can Guto take advantage of a wobbly Benjamin Adegbuyi?
We've seen literally 2 minutes of non-stop Guto coming forward.
And another shot landed by Innocence.
Break, clean.
Did Guto punch himself out? He's been throwing non-stop in this second round, Joe.
The power's definitely slowed down. Adegbuyi landing a quick counter right hand.
Guto with his mouth agape right now, taking some deep breaths.
He's taking a lot of low kicks.
And he's giving some back now. fight this has been. Not quite the fight we expected, was it, Joe?
Definitely not.
And now Adegbuyi appears to be, at least for the moment, okay. And Joe, sometimes when Guto lines up that spinning attack, it's telegraphed. We can see it coming 2 seconds before he throws it.
But what he likes to do is he likes to change the height of that kick. So just when you think it goes high, he'll throw that spin kick to the leg, and then he'll mix it high.
What a round for Guto Innocent, who looks exhausted now.
Well, that first round was pretty close, pretty tight round, but that second round is going to Guto. So you're going to probably see a lot of urgency from Adegbuyi in this third round. But let's see if Guto has what it takes to keep pushing. Guto was really trying to hit that body, but it was that nice left hook on the inside. And the reason he landed that shot is because he sets it up to the body. He's trying to bring those elbows of Adegbuyi down to open up those headshots. But this round was all Guto. Literally throws non-stop for the whole 3 minutes. Body, body, head, trying to mix up levels.
Last round, last round.
Let's see if he can match this output in this third round.
Last round.
Straight right hand on the button.
Second down.
Adegbuyi took some hellacious shots in that second round, but did not go down. And he's already in the center of the ring, ready to go. How much gas is in the tank for Guto Innocent? Round 3. 3 minutes to go in our heavyweight main event, and it has been a very fantastic show or display by both of these heavyweights. So, Joe, what's your message now to Guto Innocent?
Well, that first round is definitely close, and I gave the advantage to Adegbuyi. Second round is definitely going to Guto. So if I'm Guto, he's got to try to match that pressure. He seems to be doing the best when he's pressuring. If he waits and lets Adegbuyi land his low kicks, set up his straight punches, that's going to be a tough night for him.
Another right hand landed there for Guto, but you can see hands are at the hips now. The output not nearly what it was. As far as total strikes landed, Guto 75, Benjamin Adegbuyi just 40.
And he's thrown more than double as well.
Boy, Guto is really tired right now, calling Adegbuyi in. There's your head punches, 41 for Innocent, 16 for Adegbuyi. And you know, I could totally see a judge scoring round 1 for Guto just based on strikes landed. So Adegbuyi may need a finish here.
I like when Adegbuyi's using his kicks. When he stays outside a little bit more, mixes levels, he's found a lot of damage with his low kick. And in this third round, he hasn't really thrown many of those low kicks.
Oh, and Guto stood right in the line of fire. He's not moving like he once was.
That jab of Adegbuyi is doing really well, making it very difficult for Guto to try to get on the inside and land those body punches. Adegbuyi returning the favor with body punches of his own.
1 minute to go, and Guto Innocent is in trouble. His hands are down by his waist. He's exhausted. He's not fighting back. Trying to stay away from the right hand, and he couldn't there. He got wobbled. Ate a jab. Adegbuyi being patient now.
This is almost a similar fight we saw with Anderson Broderick Silva. Silva did well in the first 2 rounds. Adegbuyi ended up getting a last-minute knockdown with the low kicks.
And these may be these will be the longest 30 seconds of Guto's career.
And you got to think this is very close. This could easily go an extra round.
Look at Guto Innocent's body language. He needs an oxygen tank. But he's going to survive the third round, or so it seems. Did he win the first 2? Because surely he didn't win the third.
Big right hand from Adegbuyi.
And the bell rings. A fantastic scrap, at least for the first 2 rounds. The third one goes to Adegbuyi, but the first round will be the swing round. Joe, I assume you clearly gave round 3 to Adegbuyi, so you have him 2 rounds to 1.
Well, that first round, I'm giving a slight advantage to Adegbuyi. I'm giving Adegbuyi the third. So on my unofficial scorecard, I kind of have the rounds 1 to 3 to Adegbuyi. Round 2 definitely going to Gudo.
Well, Gudo Inocenc told us he was in the best shape of his life, and in the second round, he looked the part. But round 3, he just had nothing left.
Yeah, he expended all of his energy in that second round, and he literally did not stop throwing for that whole second round. Did a lot of good damage, but he didn't have much left in that third round. Tom.
Well, the only man who has knocked out Benjamin Adegbuyi in glory is our current world heavyweight champion, Rico Verhoeven. Guto Inocenc had him against the ropes, had him rattled, and was going for the kill, but just couldn't put the big guy down.
No, he just needed that little bit of extra power, but he couldn't find it. He rocked Adegbuyi a few times, but just wasn't enough, and just shows how tough and durable Adegbuyi is.
All right, let's look at some highlights from this, our heavyweight main event, Guto Inocenc versus Benjamin Adegbuyi.
Yeah, and there was almost that double knockdown we saw early on in that fight. A lot of good exchanges back and forth in that first round. Second round, all Gudo Inocenc coming in with good combinations, constant pressure. And the way he came in, attacked the body, mixed up head punches. Just a beautiful display. And that's probably the most output we've seen total. And out of all of Gudo's fights, he matched it all in this second round. But he left all that energy there. Adegbuyi recognized that he had to do a lot more in that third round. And this is where Adegbuyi came out, started doing a better job at using his jabs, landing in some of those low kicks and solid right hands. And Gudo was lucky to stay up and survive, because a knockdown in this round would have changed this fight totally.
Here are the strike statistics, and you can see landed strikes, Inocenc with a 20-point advantage.
And it all comes down to damage per round. And you got to remember, most of those strikes landed happened in that second round. So those first and third round make the difference.
Tim Hughes has the numbers. Let's get our official decision.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals from our 3 ringside judges. They give us a split decision. They score this bout 29-28 Adegbuyi, 29-28 Inocenc, and 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Guto Inocenc.
There you have it, a 12-1 underdog, Joe. Guto Inocenc did enough damage in round 1 and round 2 to get the biggest win of his career.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge win for Guto Inocenc, being ranked number 10, and that definitely catapults him up the rankings.
So Guto Inocenc, what a night for him. He promised that he would be in the best shape of his life. He promised that he would look better than ever, and he did in that second round. Round 3, the gas tank was, the light was on, the gas light was on, and there were no gas stations in the area, but he coasted back into the garage.
He would be able to, and you can see that he lost 15 pounds, so he was able to throw a little bit more combinations, be a little bit more active, but winning those first 2 rounds won him this fight today.
And he just beat the #1 ranked contender in the world. What does this mean now for Guto's future?
Well, you've got so many other guys that want him, and that just puts him closer to a shot against Rico. But man, he just shows he keeps getting better. He's getting in better shape. He keeps getting better, so let's see what Guto's going to do next.
And let us not forget, as big of an upset as this was, and according to the Vegas bookmakers, it was huge. Elvis Gashi, the local hero who never had a fight on the scale what he did tonight, a late replacement, beat the 5th-ranked lightweight in the world.
Yeah, that was impressive, too. You saw an underdog in Kevin Van Nostrand win a tournament in itself, so it was a night of underdogs here in New York.
Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, the mecca of sports and entertainment, and another chapter was written here tonight thanks to Glory Kickboxing, the world's premier kickboxing organization. That'll do it for the entire Glory team, including our executive producer, Bill Borson, and our director, Rick Tugman. He is Joseph Valtellini. I am Todd Grisham. We'll see you next month in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Have a great night.